In the 1930s, the M1 Garand's legacy had yet to be built. After witnessing initial trials, one man believed he could beat out this future rifle, as he was a lawyer, a Marine, and a firearm enthusiast. This is the story of Melvin Johnson and the M1941 Johnson rifle. Like any quality American inventor, Melvin Johnson saw the initial test and early adoption of the M1 Garand by John Garand, and he thought to himself, I can do better. As Johnson believed the Garand was flawed, the Garand used a long-stroke gas piston system towards the muzzle to trap exiting gases. The gas and the pressure it created was then used to cycle the system. Johnson was a firm believer that yes, the system worked. However, during wartime we would see large, vast quantities of ammunition being produced from a multitude of manufacturers. As a result, it would not meet all the specifications required to properly operate the M1 Garand. So Johnson looked at ways to turn the energy that results from a round being fired to power the rifle. Thus, the barrel and bolt were locked together and both went back with the recoil. Until the force leveled out, the barrel would stop and the bolt continued backwards to cycle the rifle. It was a vastly different operating system compared to the Garand. However, the rifle would be turned away by the U.S. Army Ordnance, which at this point had revised the Garand to their likings and had just started full production for its troops. The rifle still had its advantages though, such as a greater magazine capacity of 10 rounds and the ability to top off your magazine with a round in the chamber, as well as the way it used energy from a round being fired to help reduce one's perceived recoil. Like virtually any military platform, the Johnson had some drawbacks. The barrel was a precise weight to allow the rifle to function properly, so the requirement of a bayonet would add extra weight that can cause some cycling issues, as well as the force when using a bayonet would cause extra stress on the system. The rifle also had numerous small parts that could easily be lost during a field trip and result in a non-functional rifle. The magazine also had some flaws, as it allowed debris in the rifle, which potentially would lead to stoppages. The rifle itself fired the same .30-06 round as the M1 Garand. It had a rotary magazine that held 10 rounds, and it was designed to accept the 5-round stripper clip already in mass production with the M1903 rifle. So did this rifle ever see adoption, you may ask? Yes, by the Royal Netherlands East Indies Army, or the KNIL for short. They ordered 70,000 rifles to outfit its army and navy personnel. However, the Japanese would invade the Dutch East Indies after only a handful made it over there. As a result of not all the rifles making it over there, some other entities got their hands on the rifle, such as the Marines. They viewed this rifle as great for its paramarine battalions as it could be broken down due to the way the barrel works with the recoil, thus creating a far more compact platform for its parachuting units compared to the M1903 or the M1 Garand. Lastly, the Chilean military ordered a small number of 1,000 in their 7x57mm Mauser round for its troops. After limited use in the Pacific, submarines wanted it adopted, as they enjoyed several of the features like topping off the magazine in combat, and the reduced recoil after long engagement would make a great difference in the tiredness of a man. But the Garand would still win out, as the U.S. Army Ordnance already had its choice, and had already gone into mass production by this point. Johnson would soon follow the rifle with the light machine gun variant, which had limited success. After the war, the rifles quickly became collector items due to their low production numbers. It's actually hard to pinpoint the total production due to records being lost or missing with time, but it's believed approximately 30,000 original M1941 rifles were produced. I hope you enjoyed this video on one of the lesser known rifles of the Second World War. I plan to do a few more on more obscure weapons that the Americans and the Allies used during the Second World War. With that said, that's going to wrap up another video, and I want to thank you for your time. And I just want to add a quick update off the script here. I'm trying to figure whether or not I want to go with short or long form content. I really like producing the short form videos, as I can do research in a couple hours and produce a video within usually 8 to 12 hours. And I don't need to fluff it up, is a big part. I don't like seeing content out there personally that's fluffed up with useless information that just drags the time out to 8 to 10 minutes. So please let me down below if you enjoy these short form videos. I appreciate all feedback. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe. With that said, I'll catch you on the next one.